The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson, and I do music commentary. I specifically talk about hip hop and R&B, and you're gonna get my unfiltered opinions about what's going on in music news, new releases, and hip hop culture in general. Because if I don't tell you guys the truth, I don't know who will. This is episode 98, and we are live. Thank you for joining me for another wonderful episode. Man, it has been a crazy week. I had a flood in my flat, completely fucked me up. I had a flood in my flat this week, which kind of hindered me getting some stuff out. We had to get the water up. It was a mess over here. It was terrible. But finally everything got taken care of. We're going to get the content back out. Nothing is going to stop me from making sure I get this show out. I know I didn't get one out on Wednesday, but hey, it is what it is. Now we're past the whole, I was swimming in here. It was crazy. But everything's cool now. We're back on schedule. We'll be back putting out content yet again. Kendrick dropped his video for Luther, and let me just say this. I think it's dope. I'm glad that we're getting something outside of your typical selling dope stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was some really nice music. Now, I already know that the conspiracy theorists out here are saying the same thing. Oh man, Drake's moving up in the chart, so he's gonna do something to try to knock Drake down. Pretty much, that was pretty much what he did. He did use a director out of Canada. I think her name is Karina Evans. She's done some episodes for Snowfall and P Valley. But what sticks out the most is she actually directed the Guys Playing video on top of some other Drake videos. So now we're getting the conspiracy theories from all over the place. I think it's fun. I was tired of it at one point in time, but now if Kendrick's going to be doing this type of shit to step on Drake's happiness, fuck it, why not? Nothing else is happening in music right now. Shit is completely boring. I do have a few music critiques that's going to be coming up here in the next week. I have been saving all of this stuff up. I might end up doing a video on its own just for albums that you need to be listening to, so be on the watch for that. I have 3 music news stories for you guys, so let's go ahead and get into music news.
Music news.
All right, story number 1. Billboard has done it again. They have given us a list. Of course, we need engagement on social media. We need engagement on everything else. It really is a slow news week because these rappers and these artists ain't doing nothing. But they gave us the 25 greatest female rappers of all time. This list is so crazy. Here's the criteria they use: body of work, achievements, which is like the charted albums or gold and platinum albums. They did cultural impact / influence. And they also did, I'm reading from my notes, longevity, lyrics, and flow. This is the criteria that they use for this list. And going over the list, man, what can I say? I don't have a problem with Nicki Minaj being number 1. Let's start there. The top 5 was Queen Latifah, Lil' Kim, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, and Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, of course, is number 1. Do I have a problem with that? No. I think Nicki Minaj has way more kids out here. And when I say kids, I mean people who have stole her style, her lyrical cadence, the way that she's done things in music. She has a lot more of those than some of these other artists out here. Now, my problem with this list, especially the top 5, Lauryn Hill. I gotta be honest with y'all. Lauryn Hill is like Andre 3000 to me. Her rapping days were in the Fugees. Y'all keep putting this, you guys keep putting this Miseducation album in the hip hop category, and it's not a hip hop album. It is an R&B album with hip hop elements. And for everybody to continue to put her in this spot, it bugs me so much. For her to be number 3 over Lil' Kim completely just floors me. Here's another statement I'm going to make that people aren't going to like. Missy Elliott does not deserve to be number 2. If anything, I really feel like, in my heart of hearts, Lil' Kim is the number 1. Because without Lil' Kim, we don't get Nicki Minaj. That's just how it works. Now, has Nicki Minaj gone further in her career than Kim has? I feel like she has. She surpassed Kim in a lot of ways, but we don't get Nicki Minaj without Little Kim, and having Little Kim at number 4 is just blasphemy. Also, I had a problem with another rapper. She's lower on the list. Rhapsody at number 17 is fucking stupid. Billboard continues to put these lists out that don't make a lot of sense. When you put Rhapsody at number 17 and not have her at least in the top 10, you're bugging. You're crazy. Rhapsody has been an artist that's been consistent when it comes to lyrical ability. I think her impact hasn't been as big or as wide as a lot of these other rappers, but she raps. She's really getting her point across without having a lot of the pussy rap shit or trying to be hella sexy. And I think that's why a lot of people respect her, men and women on both sides of the game. To put her at number 17, man, that's a travesty of justice, bruh. Why would you do that? That just doesn't make a lot of sense. How can you have MC Light at number 6, but you got Rhapsody down here at number 17? And not taking away nothing from MC Light. But she's a lyricist, just like Rhapsody is. I would most definitely say that Rhapsody's a better lyricist than MC Light is. There was just a lot of misses on this list, man. If you haven't seen the list, I put the link in the description, but they really dropped the ball on a lot of these female rappers, and there was some people that was missing as well. Like, I think Boss should have been on here. Conscious Daughter should have been a part of this as well. You know, I'm a West Coast guy. I fuck with the West Coast heavy, and it's the disrespect, the lack of West Coast female rappers on here just floors me. And then I had to put Salt and Pepper at number 7, but you didn't have Conscious Daughters on here. Just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's another list that's going to get everybody riled up. I think the top 5 is a complete joke. I think they did a horrible job at top 5. And I just really feel like they could do way better than this. Anything else? One other thing that stood out to me as well, and I think I'm going to get a flack for this. I don't care. Left Eye at number 14 just doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. Left Eye was always a part of a group. She never had a solo project. She never really had an impact like that solo-wise. As far as like the TLC stuff, I get it. I understand why people could look at her that way, but she never had a solo album. So why is she even on this list? You get what I'm saying? It's just a lot of things that they did to get a lot of us hip hop fans enraged and having us argue and debate back and forth. But typically when companies like this put out those types of lists, that's what they usually want. They want debate. They want people to engage with their Twitter space or their Twitter page or whatever the case may be. And it's a lot of mess. Get some people in that room that know hip hop, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like, you guys really missed the mark on a lot of these things. And a lot of the way this list is put together, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So take a look at the list for yourself and see what you think. In my second story, I find it very easy to believe that Kanye West is up to his old tricks again. So I was reading here in the Daily Mail that Taylor Swift has launched a cease and desist letter to Ye, labeling his accusations false and defamatory and amounting to sexual harassment. So if you haven't seen the tweets, he actually put out some tweets talking about how Taylor Swift had a threesome with Justin Bieber and Timothy Chalamet. What's the boy's name? What is his name? Oh, Harry Styles. My bad. Timothy Chalamet, Willy Wonka. I ain't mean to do you like that. Harry Styles had a straight up threesome all at the same time. I mean, it was a DP situation from what he was saying. I don't know how true that is, but okay. I don't know how he knows that also because he said he wasn't lying. But it's to the point now where this dude is okay. One, if I'm gonna be honest with you, that's kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. I chuckled. I don't follow Kanye anymore. I've muted him. But when I seen that, I kind of laughed and it was a little bit funny. Can't lie about it. But at the end of the day, like, I'm kind of happy she's suing this dude. And I think Beyonce and Jay-Z is probably coming up next. Like, I feel like Jay-Z and Beyonce are going to be the next ones who going to sue this nigga because he is wildin' still. I bring this up all the time on the show because, one, I don't like the fact that he's getting out of pocket with these people. Talking about people's kids, talking about people's sex life, all of this other shit is really just some clout chasing, I want attention type bullshit. That at first I used to be one of those people to be like, nah, man, he got something to say. I used to defend Kanye on a lot of this shit. Go back and listen to some old episodes. I used to defend him a whole lot. But now I'm to the point where this nigga need to be stopped. I don't know what we have to do to get him shut down. And it felt like Twitter had shut him down for a second. Like it felt like he had got I think he had got kicked off. He had sent something to Dave Blunt and he said he wasn't able to tweet. But then the very next day he was at it again with the Jay-Z stuff and the Beyonce stuff. So here's an idea that I came up with. Why don't we give Kanye his own little corner in Twitter where he can't tweet publicly to everyone and we could just let him get his shit off? And he can think, I've been watching Black Mirror, but he can think that he's giving people his tweets are going live, but they're really just being sent back to him in a DM or some shit. I don't know. Black Mirror got me fucked up, but we need to put him in some type of like inception where he's like thinking this shit is really working and it's not really working. I don't know. Do you think that is a good idea? Who knows? But I'm just to the point now where he's getting away with murder, bro. Like he's getting away with saying a lot of dumb shit online and we're not doing anything to stop him. And I kind of hope, because I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I kind of hope she sues and wins. And I hope this defamation shit goes through because the more he gets away with it, the more bold he is about it. And if we don't start doing some restrictions on this dude and what he's actually like saying, it's gonna get to a point where he's gonna say some shit that it ain't gonna be no coming back from. And I quietly think that Jay-Z is going to use his lawyers against Kanye as well. I think with some of the stuff that he said about his kids, and he's continuously saying stuff about Beyonce. I think he had a tweet here recently where he said, if I had 10 more minutes in the studio with Beyonce, like he's pushing a lot of this shit to the edge. And I think that Jay is going to take legal actions. Jay just got a victory over Tony Busby, and I think he's trying to get Tony Busby completely out of here. So what makes you think he won't do that to Kanye? They were cool at one point in time, but once you start talking about my kids, man, it's to the point now where we ain't so cool no more. Like I can't be cool on the lawyer shit no more when you start getting personal and when you start talking about my wife and my kids. And I think Hov is gonna handle him. And I think he's probably gonna sue him for everything he's got. I wouldn't be surprised. Kanye West has been this kind of monster for the past 2 years now. And for some strange reason, we haven't figured out a way to shut him up. If anything, we've figured out a way to elevate what he's been saying. I think the academics interview did more harm than it did good. Probably helped academics out a whole lot, but Kanye is looking like this nigga changed into a Black Klansman outfit. I will never forget that. I think the clout chasing shit is just a little too, like he reminds me of these young rappers, bro, that be rapping in front of their ops grave. Like he's gotten to that point. Putting that Black Klansman outfit on is the equivalent of rapping in front of your ops grave in my eyes. He's just to the point now where, bro, you're a grown man. You have several children. Like, let this shit go. Sit back, get into your Quincy Jones era of making new stars. Because I don't think it's too late for Kanye to sit back and just be a great producer and produce something like Thriller and take some artist and make him into like the next big thing. Like I think that he still has that ability because there's no doubting that he has great musical ability. I think he can be somebody's Quincy Jones and he could take them to the next level if he actually sat down and used his powers for good. But until then, quiet this nigga, shut this nigga down, bruh. I think Jay should most definitely sue him for what he said about his kids and currently what he's saying about his wife. And I hope Taylor Swift takes him out the game too. I don't know. It's just too much. We're getting too much Kanye too often. That kind of goes along the lines of how boring hip hop is right now, though, and how much we need something to kind of overtake the bullshit we're getting from him. So I'm gonna keep my eyes open for more stuff that people are reporting. I swear to you, I'm not following this nigga on Twitter though. I have to get these things from the reports, but we'll put a pin in this and see where this Taylor Swift defamatory lawsuit goes, because I hope she wins it and I hope Jay sues him as well. All right, for my third and final story, there is a picture running around here, and I think my mixtapes put it out here, bro. Let me pull it up really quick. So it is a picture of the Mount Rushmore mixtapes, and it's got Gucci Man, it's got Lil Wayne, Currency, and Future on there. Now, some people want to say that this is biased to the South. And for those people who are saying that, I completely agree, and we deserve to be biased. You niggas in the East Coast was eating off of fucking mainstream radio for the longest time. What else did you think how the South was gonna get out there? Y'all wasn't accepting the South at all. I can speak from this because I come from Alabama. So yeah, the Southern mixtape had these four niggas on the Mount Rushmore. They deserve it because they are the people who made mixtapes in the South move, and they gave the South a voice, more of a voice than a lot of other people would think. Now, some people say that there are a few people who deserve to be out here, and there's somebody you should take off. There's one person that you should take off, and there's one person you most definitely you need to put on. As much as I love Gucci Mane, because I love Gucci, Gucci Mane is up there. I got to take you off, my boy. 50 Cent deserves to be on that Mount Rushmore. 50 had some of the best mixtapes. That's how I found out. That was the first time I found out about 50 mixtapes. I wasn't fucking with no East Coast rap until I heard. Well, I take that back. That's a lie. I would dibble and dabble in East Coast rap. It really wasn't something that I really loved. Being a hip hop purist, you kind of have to listen to some of those records to really understand hip hop as a whole. I get it. But when 50 came on the scene and when I heard 50's mixtapes, that nigga was killing shit. No disrespect to Gucci Mane, because Gucci Mane was one of those people who came out with classic mixtapes. But as far as like current or new era hip hop, 50 helped shape that in the early 2000s. Like 50 was his mixtapes was a big reason why New York stayed relevant. And he was a big reason why we was fucking with New York in the first place. He's the last major star to come out of New York. You can argue with your mama about that, but 50 was the last major one to do it. And the reason why I say that is because he did it on both sides. He did it on the mixtape side of things and then on the mainstream side of things. And actually 50 really only got hurt because he got blackballed in the mainstream side of shit. But mixtape wise, I really feel like if you look at his mixtape catalog and you put him up against some of the people who are on that Mount Rushmore, he killing some of these niggas. I can't take Currency off because he was just too consistent and too good for too long. Future, his mixtape catalog has given us classics, given us bangers. And Wayne, mixtape king. No ceilings. Sorry for the wait. Just, oh my God. A lot of his mixtape series was like just up there, like high level rapping on some of my favorite beats. Wayne is you can never talk about mixtapes without talking about Wayne. But I feel like that about 50. Some people feel like Fabulous should be on there. I'm gonna be honest with you. Soul Tapes, that was really the only mixtape series that I like from Fab. I just wasn't a big Fabulous fan. I'm sorry. I tried really hard, but Fab just wasn't my type of guy. 50 though, with the shit he was putting out, with the type of fucking raps he was doing on his mixtapes, with the type of shit he was talking on his mixtapes, he made classics. And his catalog is not super big like Wayne's, but it's way more impactful, and it kept New York very relevant. So I understand when people say, hey man, there's a little bit of South bias. Yeah, the South has bias in the mixtape side of things because we weren't getting our footing in the damn mainstream side of shit. So we had to do the mixtapes, and we had to show niggas that the South had shit going on. But if I had to replace somebody, I would have to take Gucci off and put 50 Cent on there. Because 50 Cent his run is still legendary, still talked about to this day in a lot of hip hop circles. So that's how I look at it. I think he had a legendary run. I don't know if y'all feel the same way. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about who had the better mixtapes, or who is your Mount Rushmore when it comes to mixtape kings. But that's all I got, guys. That's all I'm giving you for this week. Thank you for being so patient, and thank you guys for joining me for another episode of the STEM Society. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do. We have more content coming, bonus content, and this show comes out every Wednesday and Sunday. So stay on top of it by subscribing, hit the notification bell, and I will catch you guys next episode. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.